Waves are among the most obliterating normal peculiarities that have at any point impacted humankind. They are brought about by tremors, volcanic ejections, avalanches, or even shooting star falls. Mankind's set of experiences is brimming with instances of waves causing extraordinary death toll, annihilation of framework, and changes in neighborhood and worldwide conditions. In the accompanying, we will investigate 20 of the main tidal waves ever, zeroing in on the causes, effects, and examples learned, with an emphasis on human misfortunes. 1. The Thera tidal wave, c. 1600 BC. The ejection of the abundance of Thera, Santorini, in the Aegean Ocean is viewed as quite possibly of the most remarkable volcanic emission ever. The subsequent torrent tremendously affected the Minoan civilization of Crete, with waves accepted to have arrived at 40 meters in level. Human setbacks are not precisely recorded because of the artifact of the occasion, yet it is assessed that the results were annihilating for seaside populaces. 2. The Lisbon Torrent, 1755. On November 1, 1755, Lisbon was hit by quite possibly of the most obliterating quake in Europe, with an expected force of somewhere in the range of 8.5 and 9.0 Richter. The subsequent torrent had waves 20 meters high, which struck the shore of Portugal, yet additionally the banks of Spain and North Africa. It is assessed that human setbacks surpassed 50,000 dead, with a large portion of those killed by the tidal wave instead of the seismic tremor itself. 3. The Krakatoa wave, 1883. The Krakatoa volcanic ejection in Indonesia, one of the most remarkable in written history, caused a torrent that killed north of 36,000 individuals. The vast majority of the passings happened in seaside areas of Indonesia, while the waves likewise impacted different locales like India and East Africa. The human misfortunes were so high due to the absence of caution frameworks and thick populace close to the coast. 4. The Chilean torrent, 1960. The 1960 Chilean extraordinary seismic tremor, the most grounded at any point recorded at 9.5 greatness, caused a torrent that arrived at numerous Pacific Sea nations, including Japan, Hawaii, and the Philippines. In Chile, around 2,000 individuals lost their lives, and the wave even caused passings in distant regions, like Japan, where there were more than 140 fatalities. 5. The Indonesian wave, 2004. The wave of December 26, 2004, known as the Indian Sea Torrent, was quite possibly of the deadliest catastrophic event ever, with north of 230,000 casualties. The greater part of the passings happened in Indonesia, Sri Lanka, India and Thailand. Waterfront people group were totally obliterated, and the effect was destroying because of the shortfall of early advance notice frameworks. 6. The Tōhoku Torrent, Japan, 2011. On 11/2011, a 9.0 greatness seismic tremor struck the Tōhoku locale of Japan, causing a staggering wave. In excess of 16,000 individuals lost their lives, while around 2,500 are as yet absent. Human setbacks were especially high because of the speed of the waves and the closeness of local locations to the ocean. 7. The Calabria Torrent, Italy, 1783. Southern Italy was hit by a progression of solid quakes in 1783, which caused a torrent that struck the shoreline of Calabria. It is assessed that around 1,500 individuals kicked the bucket from the waves, while a large number of others were killed by the quakes and avalanches that followed. 8. The Frozen North Wave, 1958. The seismic tremor in Gold Country's Lituya Cove caused perhaps of the biggest recorded avalanche, making a torrent with waves that arrived at a level of 524 meters. Luckily, because of the scantily populated nature of the area, human setbacks were restricted to 5 passings, and the occasion stays exceptional for its geographical degree. 9. The Indian Sea Wave, 1883. Aside from Krakatoa, different regions of the Indian Sea have been impacted by waves brought about by volcanic ejections. For example, in 1883, it is assessed that a great many individuals lost their lives in far-off regions as the waves impacted beachfront networks that had not been arranged. 10. The Samoa Torrent, 2009. On September 29, 2009, a 8.1 extent quake set off a wave that struck Samoa, American Samoa, and Tonga, killing around 200 individuals. Human setbacks were restricted because of the presence of a few advance notice frameworks, yet the harm to networks was broad. 11. The Peru tidal wave, 1746. On October 28, 1746, a tremor of extent 8.6 hit the beachfront locale of Peru. The city of Callao was totally annihilated by the resulting torrent, with waves up to 24 meters high. It is assessed that around 5,000 individuals lost their lives, with just 200 survivors from the whole city. 12. The Angkor torrent, 1945. On November 28, 1945, a quake of greatness 8.1 happened in the Bedouin Ocean, close to the shore of Pakistan. The subsequent torrent impacted seaside areas of Pakistan, India, Oman and different regions of the Indian Sea. The death toll added up to around 4,000 individuals, and harm to towns and foundation was broad. 13. The Aegean tidal wave, 1956. The 1956 Amorgos tremor of 7.5 extent caused a tidal wave that struck Aegean Islands. The waves arrived at a level of 25 meters, with serious harm to the waterfront towns of Amorgos, Kalymnos, and Ostipalaya. Human losses stretched around 53 dead, while many others were harmed. 14. The Sovereign William Sound wave, 1964. The 1964 The Frozen North seismic tremor, the second biggest ever, size 9.2, set off a wave that impacted the whole Pacific Sea. In excess of 130 individuals lost their lives, primarily because of the waves that hit Gold Country and encompassing regions. The waves annihilated whole networks, causing billions of dollars in financial harm. 15. The Hokkaido tidal wave, 1993. A 7.7 size quake struck the island of Hokkaido, Japan on July 12, 1993. The subsequent tidal wave caused the passings of 230 individuals, while Okashiri Island was seriously harmed. This occasion featured the need to reinforce Japan's wave cautioning frameworks. 16. The Flores tidal wave, 1992. On December 12, 1992, a 7.8 size seismic tremor struck the Indonesian island of Flores, causing a tidal wave that killed in excess of 2,100 individuals. Numerous seaside towns were obliterated and great many individuals were left destitute. 17. The Arkhangelsk tidal wave, 1767. Arkhangelsk, Russia was hit by a surprising torrent brought about by seismic action in the icy ocean. Setbacks added up to many casualties, while the neighborhood local area was left devastated by the absence of caution. 18. The Shanghai tidal wave, 1862. Shanghai was hit by a tidal wave brought about by a seismic tremor in the East China Ocean. Human losses were assessed at north of 10,000, and the area experienced extreme harm to framework and rural creation. 19. The Madeira tidal wave, 1755. The very tidal wave that struck Lisbon in 1755 arrived at Madeira, where waves annihilated waterfront towns and prompted the passings of many individuals. The catastrophe hit the locale's economy, which was for the most part founded on fishing and exchange. 20. The Solomon Islands tidal wave, 2007. On April 2, 2007, a 8.1 size tremor struck the Solomon Islands, causing a tidal wave that obliterated towns and killed 52 individuals. Albeit the misfortunes were somewhat little contrasted with different tidal waves, nearby networks experienced gigantic monetary misfortunes. These are 20 of the main tidal waves ever, with influences that have scarred mankind and the climate. Every one of them is a wellspring of information for figuring out normal peculiarities and safeguarding against future debacles and death toll.